Wherever you are, whether you're in Japan or in Iraq, if you have a big ass, you are on my culture and you deserve nothing but the worst. If I told you that having a fat ass is racist, what would you say?
It's ridiculous.
If I saw a white girl and she had a nice plump ass and I said to you, that's cultural appropriation, that's racist, would you think I've lost my mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, come across an article written by some woman called Heather Rutke, I think her name is Rutke. Basically, she's saying that big asses are a black people thing, and that big asses have been appropriated, and so other people that are enjoying big asses are basically enjoying them through a black lens. So
is this lady black or white?
she's white, obviously. She's virtue signaling, basically. So you know how like Kim K popularized the BBL. I don't even. Kim K's not white though, is she? Is she like?
She's Armenian.
What is Armenian?
It's kind of like Mediterranean, I think.
So what, like Turkish?
No, the Armenians hate the Turks.
I know they hate the Turks, but then they have a war. But ain't they from the same
like
place?
That. No, it's not, but it's near.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing with the Young Turks, wasn't it?
Don't know.
Not the YouTube channel. I think the actual Young Turks. But anyway, so they she's saying that having a big ass is a black thing, that black men are the ones that appreciate black asses. So if you're a white guy basically and you like big asses, you are culturally appropriating them, which I found weird because there's a lot of places where you can go and women have big asses.
Anyway, yeah, some people are naturally born with it. It's all genetics, and some people don't choose to have a big ass, they just do.
I when I saw it, I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real. And then having read it, the people that posted the article are not the people that wrote the book. The book is called something like Big Butts or something like that.
Okay.
And these people posted the article discussing it because of how ridiculous it is. And I'm going to read some of it out to you, but just the idea that somebody would wake up in the morning and think to write this baffles my mind, that now we're saying that big asses are cultural appropriation, as if black women are the only women on this planet that are known for having big asses. I swear every time people go to South America, minus the BBLs, they're saying how big the asses look and all that.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of different cultures that have nice asses.
Yeah, I don't get that. Even over here, we like English girls have evolved.
Yeah.
They've got nice big asses as well now. Anyway, I'll read some of...
Yeah, and also a lot of people just like curves in the right places.
Yeah.
A lot of people find an arse attractive. So I don't get how she's got there. She's either just attention seeking, or she's looking for approval from people, or she's just trying to find a problem that should not and does not exist.
I think that she's just trying to virtue signal for black people. She's trying to get black people on her side. I can't think of a black person in their right mind reading this book and thinking, yeah, she's onto something. You'd have to be really up yourself to think that. It's nonsense. But I'm not going to read out the entire article because it's long. There's some snippets that I pulled from another video from Brett Cooper that I'm going to read out. The appropriate item is literally a body part, the size and shape of which we rather notoriously have no control over. And yet Heather, I think that's her last name, Radke, employs more or less the same argument to stigmatize the appropriation of butts, as if often made about dreadlocks or bindis. What are bindis? Are those the things that are Indians?
Yeah.
The Hindu thing. This is wild that she would try to make out like if you were walking around wearing a bindi, it's the same as you being born with a big ass.
You can't put it in the same category.
What about people that squat a lot? What about girls that go to the gym, they literally build their asses? Are you saying that that's cultural appropriation? Are you saying that that's racist? It's crazy. So then is it racist if anybody but white girls have big boobs? Because isn't that the stereotype? White girls have flat bodies and big boobs. That's the stereotype, right?
I don't know.
That's the stereotype I've always heard.
I ain't heard that before.
Like if you look back in the 90s, boob jobs were all the rage. It wasn't big butts.
Yeah.
Unless you're MC Hammer. But everything else was big boobs. So are big boobs cultural appropriation, would you say?
No, it can't be, but having a big butt back in the day would be an insult.
An insult?
Yeah, it was like proper, every girl wanted to be so slim, and girls, if they had a fat ass, they used to hate it. It was an insult,
weird.
yeah.
That's weird. I've always, what age was this?
This is like probably the times when our parents were like our age, maybe younger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like the 60s and the 70s.
Even the 90s, even early 2000s.
If you
look at everyone, if you look at like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, like they were all very slim, slender girls. Like there was just no meat anywhere.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. But I think because I grew up watching the WWF, all the women there were like super busty and had big asses.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them were like, they look like superheroes basically. They're out their bodies. The book is insistent on this front. Butts are a black thing, and liking them is a black male thing. And the appreciation of butts by non-black folks represents a moral error, cultural theft, or stolen valor, or some potent mix of the two.
Wait, so if you're a white guy, you can't like big bums?
Yeah, if you're a white dude out there, we revoke your right
Wow.
to like nice juicy plum passes. None of you are allowed to. Where do they stand on mixed race people? Because I'm half Greek, so am I allowed to like them?
Yeah, because you're half black.
But I'm not all the way black. She hasn't been explicit.
Yeah, but still.
This is a crazy thing to proclaim. This is mad. Wonder if they're gonna do a boob edition.
Honestly, I just think it's ridiculous that we're even having a conversation about it.
But this is a whole published book.
It's bizarre.
Came out last year. Among the scholars and experts quoted by Radke on this front is one who asserts that the contemporary appreciation of butts by the wider male population is coming from black male desire, straight up, point blank. It's only through black males and their gaze that white men are starting to take notice. To paraphrase a popular meme, fellas, is it racist to like butts? I've never heard that meme before in my life.
Never have I.
This is mad. So what about all the other races? What about Mediterraneans? What about Middle Eastern? What about South American? We just focusing on white guys here? Where is the line? I'm very confused.
That's the thing. When people are saying things like this, they're not taking into consideration every race. They're just solely looking at it as black and white.
Yeah, this is really, really weird. I find this extremely weird that this was even published. Whoever this Heather woman is, and I looked her up actually. She's a white woman. She hasn't got a big ass, but
she's got an ass.
She has an ass. Like I could make out the outline in one of her pictures on Instagram. So I don't know. Has she got to go on like a crusade to flatten her ass or something to completely be an ironing board so that you're not appropriating black culture? I'm not even sure.
I have no words. I'm actually just quite flabbergasted.
By the time Butts comes around to analysing the contemporary derriere discourse, its conclusions are all but foregone. The political is not just personal, but anatomical. The book calls multiple women, including Jennifer Lopez, Kim Kardashian, and Miley Cyrus, to account for their appropriation of butts, which are understood to belong metaphorically, if not literally, to black women.
I didn't know Miley Cyrus had an ass.
As far as I'm aware, Miley Cyrus does not have a big ass.
Jennifer Lopez, isn't she like Spanish or something?
Yeah, she's a Latina.
Yeah, so the whole thing just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this is very weird. Why would you bring Latinas into this? I think everyone knows that Latinas are both busty and have big asses. They're kind of known for that.
And slim waists.
Yeah.
Don't we all know it?
It's called Brazilian butt lift. It's not called African butt lift, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it called that? Not just because the surgery became popular over there, but because the women over there have big asses. And not all Brazilians are black. There's white Brazilians and black Brazilians. I don't really know like how it works in Brazil. I know that there's a lot of black Brazilians. I know there's like, I guess, are they like Portuguese?
I have no clue. I'm not good at geography.
It doesn't even matter. This is not cultural appropriation. The most scathing critique is directed at the then 21-year-old Miley Cyrus, whose twerking at the VMAs is described as adopting and exploiting a form of dance that had long been popular in poor and working class black communities and simultaneously playing into the stereotype of the hypersexual black woman.
So no one's allowed to twerk either?
I know that twerking is something that started in Africa, but it's a form of dance.
It's a dance, yeah.
It's just a dance, guys. Like, relax. I'm actually baffled. I'm really baffled.
Is there people actually sort of agreeing with her on this as well? Or is it like...
I don't think people are agreeing with her. I can't think of anybody in their sane mind would read this book and think, yeah, we've appropriated black culture. Your body, the thing that you were born with, you may have a big butt. You might not even go to the gym. You might just be well endowed down there.
Let me just put it out there. If you go to the gym to grow a bum, if you get a BBL, if you've got a natural big bum, none of it is appropriate in any culture.
No, apparently it is. The mainstreaming of butts as a thing to be admired then is the ultimate act of columbusing. Are you serious? Are you really using Christopher Columbus at this? Oh my days. The butt had always been there, even if white people failed to notice it for decades. The more I read this, I feel like I'm getting more stupid.
Yeah, it's yeah, I have no words.
I don't know what to say.
What can I possibly say except it's just ridiculous and
The final screenshot says, Butts doesn't claim to be a story with a moral, but one nevertheless emerges. Everyone may have a butt, but butts are not for everyone.
So you know how we always talk about personal preference and stuff?
Yeah.
Me, as a white woman, am I not allowed to like
Are
big
you classed
bums?
as white?
Well, I'm Mediterranean, but people would say that's still white.
But it's not though.
Yeah, but when it comes down to
All right,
it,
for the
people
sake
are
of
like,
argument,
yeah.
we'll say you're white.
Okay.
You're not allowed to like big butts.
But that's my preference.
I don't care. You're appropriating my culture.
It's ridiculous.
You can't appropriate half
Absolutely
my culture.
ridiculous.
It's nonsense. You keep your tits, we'll keep our butts. And it is worth noting that however much baggage it assigns the white men who like butts, its implications are even more fraught for the white women to whom the butts are attached. Who wrote this? This Heather woman has to be mentally challenged. There's no way. And I'm assuming, you know, when people write things, they have someone they're really close to. They're like, do you think this is good?
Yeah.
Do you think I should put this out?
Someone's read that and gone, yeah.
So your friends are troll for allowing you to do this. They are 100% reading this, laughing at you with a bunch of other people. There's no way.
But she might have completely got in their brains and brainwashed them, gave them a whole lecture about it, and like they're standing by it now as well.
One gets the sense that non-black women are not supposed to have big butts. That those who do have accomplished something unnatural, if not outright suspicious, and if you insist on having a butt, and really do you have to, then you must under no circumstances be proud of it or accept positive attention for it, or, heaven forfend, make it part of your brand.
Wow.
So let me just be clear. The people that have written this are taking the piss out of the book, but that's essentially what they've pulled from the book.
Yeah.
That the book is basically saying that you are not only insulting black culture for having a big butt, you are enjoying big butts through the lens of Africans and Jamaicans and wherever else black people reside. And if you are not black, you cannot appreciate a big butt. If you're a white guy sitting at home right now, if a white girl that has a nice, juicy, plump ass, you tell her to pack her bags and go home and think about what she's done.
You're both appropriating because you're appropriating because you like it, and she's appropriating because she's got a big ass.
Yeah.
So what about if there's a white girl in a relationship with a black guy and he likes big asses and she's got a big ass? Is she still appropriating even though he's a black guy and he's allowed to like it?
They'll say that he has internalized self-hatred for being with a white girl that has a plump bum. Because, you know, obviously if you're a black guy with a white girl and you're not with a black woman, then you must hate yourself, according to some people. I'm sure they would say that. They would say to you, if black women have big asses, why have you chosen this one white girl that has a big ass? Completely removing the fact that there's a whole host of reasons for why people get together outside of how they look. And there's a whole host of reasons for why people stay together outside of how they look. But let's boil it down to the fact that the white girl has a big butt. So even, you know, forget white people, Latinas, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, Asian, wherever you are, whether you're in Japan or in Iraq, if you have a big ass, you are shitting on my culture. And you deserve nothing but the worst. You've appropriated my people's figures. You've exploited the beautiful black bodies of my women. And cut off my monologue.
Someone might snip this and then post it out, and then people ain't going to see the full video and they're going to think, who is this guy?
Let them snip it. They've snipped stuff before anyway, so I don't have much more to say on this.
No, there's nothing more we can say. It's just dumb.
Butts are for everyone, and butts are here to stay. Okay, so butt out of people's business.